Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, yeah, doing good. Hey man, things are going pretty good. Yeah, no, pretty good. Had a good day. Working on some Power BI reports. Rolling out some new scorecards, getting some metrics out there. What are you guys working on? Just working on some new models, trying to document all these changes that have been made. Yeah, it's been like 6 months since we last documented the model, and it just yeah, I got tons of new measures, new dimensions, a whole bunch of new fact tables. Those calc groups are, thinking of themselves. Honestly, it's getting a little out of control. Yeah, no, I've followed all best practices. Yeah. But, you know, can, can you, do you have problems when you use the model? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. How about when you build reports? Yeah. I wish there was a better way to do this, right? Just some way where I could just throw a report on top of my model. Wouldn't that be great? You know about the Data God AutoDoc tool, right? No. What? Oh man, you gotta check this out. It's amazing. Wait till you can see what you can do with this. Here, come on. Come with me. No, this is worth it. Come on. No, you gotta see this. It's incredible. Use the Data God AutoDocs, and it'll document your entire model for you. Sure, you're gonna have to add in some descriptions and all that stuff, but boy, it takes the lion's share of the work out of it. It's just frankly it's unbelievable. You gotta check it out. All right, so let's talk about how do we auto document our models. I'm super excited about it. Let's head over to my desktop. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is head over to kratosbi.com, and once you land out here, you're going to click on my little navigation button here, and you're going to click on Data God Apps. You can see it right here, right? So I click on that. It's going to take me over to my app page. This is going to be the home of all the new apps that I'm going to be working on publishing so that you can have access to this stuff. Scroll down. The first app that we have is the Data God Model AutoDocs. Got a little slideshow that runs through how you get these things set up. You're going to, step one, download the Data God Model AutoDocs. It's a zipped up PBIX file. And step two, download the Office PowerPoint that I've got. This is going to be super useful for you. Make sure that you download this so that you get a copy of this that you can pull up on your system. We're going to be going into that in just a second. Well, here it is. In here, I got instructions on how you get this thing set up, how you configure your app, how do you get these things installed so you can get them up and running for every model that you have up and inside your app, as well as tips along how you use the goals or the new metrics experience to track and monitor the performance of your app. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Excited to get into that in just a second. So with no further ado, let's head over to our model docs and let's click on this guy. When you first open up the document, it's going to look like this. Let me make this visible so you can see it. But this is just a Power BI file, right? So, the great thing about this is completely customizable. You can do more things with this than, what's currently in there. So take it, add in your own flavor, add in your own whatever you want to do. This is powered through the DMV queries that are built into Power BI datasets. So all you need to have is an XML endpoint for you to connect to. So if you want to connect this to run to any Power BI dataset or analysis services or heck, even SSAS, all you do is go into transform data in the parameters. You just go in and you put in your server connection string and the data or the database name, the model name that you're connecting to. Click OK. It's going to refresh and pull up all that information. If you want to do something more, right? Like you're like, you know what? I want to extend this. I have some other fields or values I want to track inside here. Psh, easy enough, right? Just come into here. All of these things are just Power Queries, power all of this stuff, right? So if I click on source, I can go and take a look. This is it, right? Nothing, no magic, right? It's a query against the DMVs on your model to get this information out of it. So if you want to extend this, you want to do something more than what I've built into the model, feel free to. Heck, I'd love to hear what additional things you've done from this to extend this. This is something that was built out initially by the Alexes, Alex Powers, Alex Dupler. Kevin also went in and expanded upon this. So, thank you guys very much. I check it into Git, but I don't know how to use Git. So, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So feel free to go and extend all of these things. Do whatever you will to this to make this your own flavor. But there's two basic experiences that we have inside the AutoDocs. Number one, we've got the experience for your business analysts and your port writers, so that they can go in, understand what are all the tables, what are they, what do they have access to, what do they not. You can go over to the bus matrix. This is the piece that Kevin Arnold added. You can see all of your fact tables across by all of your dimension tables, so you can understand where you have conforming dimensions or not. This is a good one. I really like this one, this relationships visual. This can really help you if you have hundreds upon hundreds of tables in your model. This can really help you understand what relates to what. So if I could just go on and click on my dim date, what's connected to my dim date, I could see all the fact tables that I have that are connected to here. But I could also go and select my account table and realize oh, this only relates to finances. This isn't customer accounts. Customer is over here. And customers only relates to the fact internet sales and fact survey results, right? So I have to be mindful of that is what we're talking about here. So you could go in and check this out. Frankly, I think this is one of the most powerful visuals that we have. Really like this one. And then the other real good one, and I really like to recommend this for our new analysts or people who are new working in Power BI. Go and take a look at the measures that are being calculated inside of your models so you can understand, when you have a really complex measure, what is it doing? How is it working? Why is it doing that? You can go and you can see that right inside of here. So this is your first set of experiences inside of the AutoDocs document. The second one, and this is where we start to get into some really cool stuff, is for our for the admins out there, right, who are trying to manage their models. So this is a quick summary of your Vertipack Analyzer. Quick view basically of what's going on inside your model. This can help you, understand where you might have performance issues, where you might suddenly have huge cardinality spikes, that type of a thing. What are your largest tables if you're looking to refactor? That's all available inside of here. You can just go in and hover in on it, get some smart tool tips that'll come up as well, so you can really understand what's going on in your model. Next item we have is tables by size. So if you're trying to understand hey, Chris, I need to refactor my model. It's gotten too big. How do I do this? You can just go over to tables by size. I can go to columns by size as well. So I can start to hone in on different columns that I might want to resolve. I can go over to relationships by group, so I can see if I've got any expensive relationships. I can also relationships by size. These are all things that you might want to look at when it comes to evaluating your model on performance. Really like to see all of these things. This can just really help you, better manage your model. Now, this is something that I am super excited about. Here is adding in these action measures. Okay, so these action measures are specifically designed to feed into a metric so I can track these over time. You say, Chris, what the heck are you talking about? I say, that's a great question. So to get into that, let's first publish this out to the service. So I'm going to hit publish. Yeah, let's go on. Save changes, of course. A horse is a horse, of course. Now publish, I want this to be published out to my data sets and data flows. So I'm going to hit select. It's going to upload, and then I'm going to go over to the service. All right, when I get over to the service, when I get to the service, I'm in my home page. I'm going to go down to my workspaces, and I'm going to go to my data sets and data flows, and I'm going to see that it's my DataGod model AutoDocs has been uploaded. I'm going to want to make sure that I go in and I set up my refreshes. Now, this is a big deal. The reason why you want to make sure that, first that, if you need to have a connection, you've got the credentials that have been entered, you enter your credentials so it'll refresh. And then you want to make sure that you're doing a refresh on this on a regular basis. I like to do my refreshes at 6:30 in the morning. Because this ensures that if any changes were made overnight, by my offshore team, when I come in and take a look at this, it's all up and ready. But you know what? I like to be respectful for them too. So I'm going to add in a second refresh. I'm going to say, you know what? Let's do it at 6:30 p.m. so that any changes I do during the day are updated and available for that offshore resources who's going in and helping me manage my model. Okay, so this way we get an updated definition of what's in our model on a very regular basis that we can just know and trust. Right. So this is up and running. Now, if I wanted to, I could go into my parameters and I could change this to other models. I could duplicate this over and over again so I could have one of these documents available for each one of my models. Whatever, is going to work best for you, I say do that. Frankly, I think it'd be great if we saw these all over the place because there's just a ton of stuff that value that would be delivered to our businesses if they knew what they were working with. Okay. But once I have this set up and ready, I'm going to go into my goals, or I'm going to go back into my workspace, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to specifically create a scorecard that's going to track all of those action items on that page that we were last looking at so that I can see what that performance is like over time. All right. So I've already created one scorecard where I'm tracking my many-to-many values. I don't want to see my many-to-many grow. So if I ever need to add a many-to-many in, okay, hey, you're going to know about it, but you don't want to just have that coming in willy-nilly, right? And you don't want that to have slipped past the code review or just been implemented without you really even knowing about it, okay? So I set a goal up to make sure that my many-to-many stays at 0. Well, I am going to edit this and I'm going to add in a new metric, okay? And now, like we can do all the time, we want to go in and add it from our from a report that we've built, which is the AutoDocs. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to hit next. It's going to take me into my report. It's going to land me on my homepage. I want it to go into the action metrics though, so that I can, come on now. All right. So now I've got my action metrics right now. I want to make sure that I go in and I update this stuff. So I want to make sure that I'm not adding in any additional higher cardinalities, or that I track my highest cardinality items to make sure that I'm not seeing some crazy growth, right? So I'm going to connect this. I'm going to say max cardinality. And now, right now we're at 18K. By the end of the year, I want to make sure that I haven't really exceeded 22,000 as a value, right? That's something I want to make sure that I'm staying under, right? So, I hit enter. I should change this to on track, and I want to make sure that I set my final date there, okay? I'm going to hit save on this. Now, I can go in and I can add in a metric for every one of my action measures. Heck, maybe I want to go in and enhance my report to add in some additional action measures, right? Like what type of thing might I want to add? Well, let's go take a look at action measures. Here's one that I just added. What this is the base calculation of the this is the base calculation from my totals field that is right here, right? This total field has some like custom formatting in it. When you do that, you can't do a metric, a Power BI metric off of it. You have to have something that is a static value, right? You can't have changing decimal points. That doesn't make sense in a snapshot, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create this custom definition, I might want to go ahead and create some more. Once I get this done, I will save this, and then I will publish this back out into the service. Say yes. Click on yes, that's where I want it to go. I know it's going to replace it. Okay. All right. Now that that's finished, click got it. Let's head over to the Power BI service. We're still on our action metrics, so let's hit refresh. We see our new value is here. So I'm going to go back over to my my scorecard. I'm going to go in. I'm going to edit my scorecard. I'm going to add in a new metric. I'm going to call this one model size. I'm going to connect it to data. Yep, we're going to use that report I've been using this whole time. We will go over to our action metrics. We'll select that model size. I'll hit connect. And we're going to say we want to keep this under, this is not a huge model, so I'm going to be okay if it like doubles in size, right? 35, right? Oopsies. Let's edit that again. I always do that. On track. We're going to finish it by 1231 and save this guy. Now, I can go through, reiterate this a whole bunch of times. I can also, and this is a big one, I can customize this document so that it meets my company standards, right? So I could, that's something that we've added in on the backgrounds. If you want to go in and customize and build out additional pages, do more stuff, you want to keep the theming that's there in the file, awesome, great, go right ahead. You can use the these slides that are available for you inside of the Power BI report. Let me pull that right back up. On any given page on the canvas background, you'll see which background was used in order to generate, to make it look like this. So in this case, it's Galaxy 2A PNG. That wasn't that one. I think where's 2A? Okay, so it's 2A. 2A is right here. That's the background that we used to create that. Now, if I wanted a custom design, this is where you go to add in your custom design work. Now, I have included basically blocks that block out all of the items that are going to be on your report. So if you need to add in any like custom backgrounds, if you want to keep that light coloring that exists today, you'll want to keep these backgrounds in place, but you can just go in and, I mean, this is a Power BI. Okay, this is just a Power BI report, or I'm sorry. Oh, file. Save as. Oh, don't have enable saving. All right, so I could go in and I could just go and I could format my background. So let's say I needed to have everything red or purple or whatever it is your background happens to be. Maybe it's green. I don't know. You could go ahead. You could easily adjust this the entire way to meet your needs. Do put in, like, if you're going to use a logo, there's a space for a logo here and there's a space for a logo here on each of these pages. Save them off following this note in the lower corner here. And that you'll be able to line that up with the reports in the Power BI dashboard right here. So you could just swap in these values based upon your design needs. All right. So, wow. Okay. That's it. That is the Data God AutoDocs. You like it? Have any thoughts, use cases for yourself? I think this is something that we could see tens of thousands of these deployed out broadly across organizations. I'd love to hear how you're using it. I'd love to see screenshots on how you've taken this, extended it, and have it inside your workspace, how you're making this available to your teams. One thing I'd highly recommend is go into Teams and add this into your center of excellence or add it into your work group where you've got all of your documentation. Just go ahead, go into your general, make this a tab in Teams, make this available for people so that they can go in and see it. So, thank you guys very much. I hope you find this useful. If you do, leave a comment down below, hit like, subscribe, all that jazz. You guys have a great one. Peace.